Okay, and so the inequalities we're going to be solving today, you're going to actually graph on a number line. And so if you look at what it says solve and graph the solution set on a number line. So yes, you're going to have to put a number line on these. I'm sorry, that's just kind of the way it is. Okay, and so if I was going to solve this inequality over here, what would you do? Solve it for y. What would you do?
Add 6.
Add 6. So you end up getting y to be,
9.
what's that symbol?
Less
Less than. Remember, less than always points to the left. Okay? So y is less than 9. So what we're going to do is we're going to start, you always put a 0 on your number line. Always. Now what you could do if you wanted to is you could go like 3, 6, 9 if you wanted. You could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You could. The biggest thing you need to understand is that all the increments need to be the same. So if I start by 3 in my first one, then my next one needs to be 3. My next one needs to be 3. Okay? So y is less than 9 means you're going to do what? Put a what? Dot at 3. I'm going to put an open circle at 3. And which way am I going to shade?
That's 9.
Oh, sorry, at 9. And then which way am I going to shade? Left. Okay, when I get to that arrow, I'm going to shade it in, nice and dark. Okay, I don't just want to see a line going to the left and stopping. You need to make sure you shade that arrow in because what that means is that all the values to the left of that still work as well. Alrighty, questions on that? Shouldn't be too bad, but obviously they're all not going to be that easy, so we're progressively going to get harder. So let's go ahead and look at this next one. 5w minus 3 is greater than 4w plus 2. So what are you going to do now?
Add 3 both sides.
Okay, you could add 3. Yeah, that'll be fine. Add 3. So then you end up getting 5w to be greater than 4w plus 5.
Minus
And
4w.
Minus 4w, so what are you left with?
1w plus 5.
W is greater than 5. So once again, we got to start the number line at 0. What type of dot at 5? Open, shade which way? To the right. Right up there.
When would you have a closed dot?
When it's equal to. So not too bad. But like I said, progressively they're going to get a little more difficult. So what do you do now? Divide by -4. Now one of the things about dividing by a negative number, if you multiply or divide by a negative number, so right now I've divided by -4, you need to flip the inequality. Okay? I hope you all caught that. You need to reverse it. So really this is x is less than or equal to -6. That doesn't mean if the problem you start with has a multiplication by a negative. It means if you somehow do an operation in which you multiply or divide by a negative number in order to solve the problem.
So the little line stays underneath.
Yes. The greater than or equal to, or the equal to sign does stay with that. So x is less than or equal to -6. What are you going to have? Close circle on -6 and shade which way?
Right.
Left. If you have your variable on the left side, so it's like x is whatever, this inequality will symbolize which direction you will shade. So if you always have your variable on this left side here, okay, whatever way that arrow is, that's how you're going to shade. So that's another little trick you can use. Let's look at another one. -9.2y is less than 23. Divide by -9.2. So the minute we divide by the -9.2 is when we go ahead and flip the inequality. Oh, flip it. There we go. So I get y is what does that come out to be?
2.5.
2.5. -2.5. Yep, -2.5. So I'm going to go ahead and start at 0. So if I just go -1, -2, -3, I'm going to have what type of circle? Open. And which way am I going to shade? Any questions? Isn't that overly difficult? So let's look at this one. It says define a variable and write an inequality for each problem, then solve. 12 less than the product of 3 and a number is less than 21. So 12 less than the product. So remember what we do? Whenever we have that like less than, remember we leave a space right here and then minus 12. Let's look at what it says now. The product of 3 and a number. What's the product of 3 and a number? 3n, 3x. Is less than sign 21. Okay, so these are going to be inequalities. And so now all we have to do to solve that is what? Add 12 and then divide by 3. So I end up getting 3x to be less than 33. So x is less than 11. Okay, we can graph those. We've already been doing those. Okay, biggest thing there is writing the equation.
So when do you switch the sign over?
Only when you divide or multiply by a negative number. Let's look at this one. Negative 4n is less than or equal to 5n plus 58, all divided by 6. Okay. What I would do if I were you, I'm going to get rid of the 6. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 6. Do I change the inequality for that?
Yes.
No, why not? Because it's not negative. If that would have been a negative 6, you would have had to flip it. But 6 times negative 4n is negative 24n, less than or equal to 5n plus 58. Now on the right side, what ends up happening is they end up just canceling. So now I just need to solve that. Okay, so I'll subtract 5n. So you end up getting negative 29n, less than or equal to 58. And then now what do? Divide by negative 29. And you got to flip the sign. Okay. So what is n greater than or equal to? Negative 2. So once again, there you go. We've got a few more to finish up. Okay, like I said, we've got 2 more. They're progressively going to get a little bit more difficult. And this one really, I would say that the other one probably was a little more difficult than this one, because what do you need to do first on this one? Distribute, and that's it. Okay, this is something you've already done. So if I distribute that negative 6, what am I left with? Is less than or equal to? Okay. What should I do now? Okay, subtract 20x, so I really get 4x minus 18 less than or equal to 6. What should I do now? So then I get what? 4x is less than or equal to 24. What do you do now? So you get 6. Okay, you can graph those. I'm not. We're going to look at the next problem because we've done plenty of graphing. Only when you divide or multiply by a negative number. Okay, let's look at this. And I'm going to put a little tidbit, especially those of you juniors. Okay, if I remember, that's one of those things on the NISA standard test. Okay, and so it's going to be that's one of those, they have like these little bulleted items, and that was one, if I remember right, it was something with inequalities on those bulleted items, and so that's one of the things to keep in mind. If you ever multiply or divide by a negative number, you flip the inequality. Sal's company pays Jim to advertise on Jim's website. Jim's website earns $15 per month plus 5 cents every time a visitor clicks on the advertisement. What is the least number of clicks per month that Jim needs in order to earn $50 per month or more? Okay. So let's write an equation. What should I start with? Okay, we can do the 15. $15, and then what else does he earn money on? A nickel for every time. So let's just say 0.05 M. Okay. Okay, or you can use C for click. And then it says, what's the least number of clicks that Jim needs in order to earn $50 per month or more? So I want this to be bigger than or equal to 50. Because notice what says $50 per month or more. So that means this needs to be more because he wants to earn the minimum of $50. But he would really like more than that. Okay, if we would have done less than or equal to 50, that would have been values that would have been, he would have made $50. So to solve this, what are you going to do? Minus 15. So you get 0.05 M to be greater than or equal to 35. What do you do now? Divide by 0.05. What do you get? 700. So what is the least number of clicks per month that Jim needs in order to earn $50 per month or more? 700 clicks. At 700 clicks, he's going to make $50. 701, he's going to make $50.05. 702, he'll make $50.10. Okay. So questions on that?
How did you decide that it would be equal to
Greater than? Because it says earn $50 per month or more. So you want more than 50. Okay. Now here's your assignment, 10 through 36, the evens on page 37. So I want you to go ahead and write that down, and then we're going to get out our assignments from yesterday and the day before.